Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today after a brief hiatus of a few months is Gopikrishnan, ace reporter. We all know him. He's a journalist. If anyone deserves Padma Shri from the journalism sector, it is he. At least Padma Shri, I would say. Let's welcome Gopiji. Gopiji, Namaskar. Ram Ram. How are you?
Yeah, Ram Ram. I'm so happy to tell you I've been in Ayodhya recently, and it's a nice area. Now today is our subject is little bit hot subject, which we never expected from this government. And I'll explain you the issue. In 2012, Supreme Court passed a landmark judgment against the 2G scam issues and cancelled all licenses and said that natural resources, including spectrum, has to be auctioned. No administrative pricing, nothing. Only you have to go through auction because it's a natural resources. Natural resources not only belong to the people and country, it belongs to the generations. So government cannot do administrative pricing, go for auction. It was a case, main petitioners are Subramanian Swamy and Prashant Bhushan. And all the licenses cancelled and auction started. Till date, the auction, the country got more than 6.5 lakh crore. So this is the situation. But that time Congress government was upset. First they went against the review, then they themselves withdrawn the review, and they went to the highest position, presidential reference, asking a doubt to the President of India, and President of India will send that doubts query to the Chief Justice bench. That time Kapadia bench also reiterated the Supreme Court judgment of Justice 𝗤𝙗𝗍𝗪 and said that everything has to be auctioned because natural resources belongs to the not only to the public and government, it belongs to the generations at large, and the country deserves. It cannot be for a fair value. It cannot be go with. That's why coal auction, everything happened. But previous week, all of us, and meanwhile, what happens is there comes the satellite spectrum. This is a new area where your Elon Musk is involved in his Starlink also wanted to come to India. But India is one of the biggest operator, Airtel also in the satellite spectrum is there. Their argument is this is a new item, so there should be no auction and there may be an administrative pricing and others. They were lobbying on the government. And this Elon Musk, some August, this April 10, he said that he is going to meet the Prime Minister by April 22, but April 20, 48 hours before he withdrew. So we came to know that he has two projects. One is Tesla car project and is Starlink. But Tesla, he has to find his Indian partner, which my impression is Mukesh Ambani may be his partner in Tesla. But as far as Starlink, he is not going to get free. So that's why it happened. So 23rd government, at that time Chandrachud simply said that no, this is an old whatever you want to know, you go through the procedures. Then Prashant Bhushan objected and said that there is nothing to review, it's all done. So next day Subramanian Swamy also landed there and informed the court and registry that I need to know, because I am the petitioner, I and Prashant Bhushan are the petitioner, and we need to know what kind of clarification government of India want. We also don't want to get the copy, and we also want to know what is their demand. So today news has come out. Supreme Court has told the government there is no sort of clarification or anything. The matter is decided 12 years ago. So there is nothing doing. It is rejected. So, but the government has as far as my understanding is, there is an option. Government has played a clever trick because they have now passed the National Telecom Bill 2023, which allows government to, in case of emergency or in a peculiar condition, say satellite spectrum is a peculiar condition, it is not yet commercially sold. Auction is in the other 2G spectrum, 3G spectrum, and 5G and telecom spectrums areas. So satellite, they can use that bill, but they don't want it to. They want to keep their image, because this government came on earlier government's corruption in 2G scam and others, and all these bills, and they were all supportive. Now why they have come to this stand? Because that's why I always tell you, governments may change, but the bribe giver is not changing. Anyway, in this area, Mukesh Ambani and Vodafone says that auction has to be conducted, but Elon Musk, Airtel, and Tata as usual, and your American another company, Amazon's Kuiper, and Ellen. Let us see how the government will take a call after. I think now they will wait for the new election and new government. Government has tried to do it through election season and others, but somehow Supreme Court understand. They sense that you cannot play, you cannot fire from our shoulders. That's why let us see how satellite spectrum coming, and you have to tell us what is Elon Musk and Amazon wanted to do.
Yeah, so look, the advantage of having satellite spectrum is that you don't need to have, right now, like for example, you have fiber connection, broadband, right? What do you have? You have, actual cable has to be laid out. So everywhere they have to dig it, bring it to last mile is a big implementation challenge. All that is happening. With satellite spectrum, what happens is you have a direct uplink to the satellite. So it will cost a little bit more, but what happens is you don't need to keep digging the house roads and things like that to add new cable. All that goes away. So this is a new way of connecting. Now, Starlink was very useful for Elon Musk when Ukraine war broke out, because what Russia did was they smashed up the cable infrastructure of Russia. Of Ukraine, completely taken out. Like for example, think about no broadband fiber at all. What will you do? Your phone is only 3G, 4G. It's so slow. You can't stream content, right? So that's what Russia did. So at that point of time, Elon Musk stepped in. I think it was a special agreement because US wanted to prove, they needed to still fight, isn't it? They had to communicate with the trenches. So they used Starlink to do that. And slowly, I think Starlink has been taken out of that because I think it may be too expensive. I don't know exactly the status today. But Musk might have thought, oh, okay, I've already got one place where I got a special consideration and I got this thing installed. And so in India, he can say that it's proven in a war zone. What more do you want, right?
We only want him to pay whatever the revenue he earned from the country, whatever he has to share the profit. He has to pay the Indian rule. He has to go through auction. What prevents him from auction?
He doesn't. Nothing. See, at the end of the day, everybody is a businessman, cleverer by half. They want to cut as much money as possible so that they get it for peanuts and make money out of that. That it's a price arbitrage thing. So what is interesting is not every Indian company is on one side. Usually it is all one side, right? It's not. Some are on this side, some are on this side. That is good because then the transparency and the truth will come out. That is the good thing.
The Reliance Jio don't want administrative pricing. They want auction because they said that as foreign companies are playing, so level playing field, you need auction because the money come from dollar side and others will have to pay the. So they say, let us go for auction.
Yes, but Gopi, Starlink is going to be more of use to government agencies, army or government, so that what happens is in case there is a disaster, let's say there's an earthquake problem, right? Then you should be able to, you can easily communicate to all the places there using satellite. That is not impaired because if the earthquake is bad enough, even the infrastructure could be broken, cable links could be broken, things of that nature can happen. But also satellite spectrum will help far-flung areas. Andaman, maybe they can use Starlink.
Now Airtel started OneWeb, European OneWeb. Airtel is also a player now. Yeah. The issue is government is now facing how to allot it. You have to with the administrative pricing or auction. Why government and private companies? You go for auction. Administrative pricing will, at the end of the day, it will lead to corruption. Your price will be determined by
correct. Yeah.
Your pricing, your license fee is determined by the telecom minister and finance minister. It leads to corruption.
Also, yeah, I think this is also sort of like a veiled warning to BJP. Look, UPA took in the second term, they became really corrupt. First term was okay. Here you have done 2 terms, okay. Now third term, it doesn't start good if you are going to go this way. I'm sure, the government will mend its ways and do an auction. There is no other way. Also, I have a feeling that India is very hung up about Tesla. Tesla's technology, Gopi, what Elon Musk, good thing also he did, okay? I have to admit where he has done something good. What he did was, all the intellectual property that he got from Tesla, right? For example, charging technology, electric, how do you run the whole thing? All that stuff, all the patents, he said it's open source. Anybody can use it. Okay, so the patent of how something is done is already available for you free. You don't have to pay any royalties to Tesla or to Elon Musk. So why can't Indian companies reverse engineer from the patents and write the software? I know, I have seen the Tata vehicle, 13 lakhs I heard. 13 lakhs or 15 lakhs, something like that. EV. It's pretty nice. I saw it on Coimbatore. Coimbatore is one of those cities where you have the very, very rich and very, very poor. And you will see all these.
Tata 9 lakh EV is also there, I heard.
Yeah. So it is possible. I think Tata probably didn't know where the response will be, so they tried to go in high. And we'll have to wait and see. I think this is a good point. I think good judgment from the Supreme Court. And I think the auctioning should be done. It makes the government's burden less, as a matter of fact, because money comes in at front. Auction, you get the money, collect it up front. So,
and it will be the market price. Administrative pricing must be very less, and it has to be, there should be a person deciding the price, not the market.
Yes. You want the market to set the price. Gopi, we have a few questions from our viewers, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Can you go to questions, please? VP has become a YouTube member. Thank you so much, VP. Abhijit Singh wants to know, it is my personal view. I think BJP made it on purpose for SC to decide on the spectrum. Nice move. 1 stone, 2 targets taken care of. What do you think?
But Supreme Court has asked them, we are not changing the law or anything, old judgment 2012. And it is new, satellite spectrum is a new thing. Let the cabinet decide. And you have a landmark judgment, you have a presidential reference. And why do you want everything free? The players, it's a government's money. Money comes to government. And let the market decide.
Next question. Mangat Ranga wants to know, the 2G scam issue 2 needs full and rightful investigation. The culprit can't be sitting and making laws.
It is now in the Delhi High Court in the criminal part. May 20. It's after so many years, the court has now given the leave to grant to CBI to serve, which is so delayed. And I heard it is May 20 onwards, the case will start full hearing. It may happen this year itself. We will come to know.
Gopi, one thing that people are very irked is in the previous Lok Sabha session, right? There were times when Raja was presiding over the session.
That's I always blame the ruling party and the speaker and everybody. Why do they allow? See, the issue is when after speaker there is a deputy speaker. In the history of India, this session there was no deputy speaker, and there is also a panel. If speaker and deputy speaker are not there, panel members will chair the timing till these people come. So every political party will give the name of their party members. DMK might have given Raja's name. It should have been the speaker. So that no, I can't take this. You give some other name. So this is the way. Other political parties also not. And there was a case on Chidambaram becoming some panel member. So these are all the cases where government and party leadership has to go for morality in politics.
Oxymoron, my friend. Partha wants to know, sir, do you think Tesla's solar technology, Powerwall and Megapack are more useful in Bharat's equipment armada than Tesla/Starlink? Gadkariji is focused on hydrogen and against driver job loss.
I think Sree Iyer can answer it because you know both America and India well, and you are a good driver also. So you can say.
Parth, there are places where solar technology and Powerwall are absolutely essential. Think Ladakh. Think Rajasthan in the Thar desert. What do you get in plenty? Sunlight. But you don't have anything else. So these are all the far-flung places that will benefit from all these technologies. The Powerwall and Megapack is useful in a home also where electricity is not very consistent. It could be some far-flung areas. But that itself in India is so much, like 10 to 20% of the market can be served. Underserved market can be served from this. And the pricing will be not as cheap as perhaps like Airtel fiber, like what we have now, but it will be a little bit more, but it depends upon what the use is. Somebody who's in the Thar desert who needs connectivity will have to pay for it. That's the easiest way to do it. And also if you want to develop 𝗪𝙗𝑑𝑣, you want to develop Nicobar Islands, you want to develop Andaman, you want to develop any other far-flung, 𝗪𝑐𝑻 for example, unless you have something like a satellite-based cheap communication, you have to lay a cable on the ocean bed from like Chennai or something like that. That costs money. Who's going to pay for that? So Starlink takes away all that stuff because satellites are already up there. The software is already up there. So Elon Musk starts making money from day one. He just needs to win the auction. That's all there is.
Yeah.
Maithili ji wants to know, will this make the internet expensive? I don't think so, Maithili, because there is a net neutrality in place, which means that anybody can run any application on the internet. It doesn't cost you more. And this is, like I said, it is a niche application. Not everybody is going to need this thing. But government agencies will need, border areas, they will need it. It gives you a safer country at the end of the day. So it is the government that will be the biggest beneficiary of Starlink communication or satellite based, anyone. I mean, India is now launching satellites left, right and center. And Ambani and Adani can put their own equipment up there and use that to beam in and out. They can do that too. Yes. I think that's all we had for questions, Gopi. Thank you so much. And we'll be back again as this thing develops. This is not the last word on this. 2G case also is getting, hot again in Delhi High Court. So we'll be having Gopi back with us. Thank you once again, Gopi. Namaskar.
Namaskar.